Dr. Acer's case is bringing national attention to our area tonight and to the increasing fears over how the AIDS virus is spread. Nowhere has the impact of AIDS been so tragic than here in our area, where a young woman is the first in the country to claim she contracted the deadly disease from a medical caregiver. The implications for you and for the health community are enormous. In the first of my three-part Action News Extra on AIDS anxiety, you can meet the young woman who is bravely forging ahead despite the odds.
We're all going to die. You know, none of us are immortal. With AIDS, you're more aware of it.
She's a 22-year-old college graduate with a promising future. Until December 1989, when Kimberley Bergalis found out she was diagnosed with AIDS. Suddenly, fate changed the future.
It's frightening. You know, I was at a point in my life where I had all these different goals, and I was sending out my resumes. And I was thinking about, you know, marriage and eventually, you know, children, and so it's a big setback.
Kimberly believes she contracted the deadly disease during a 1987 tooth extraction. Her dentist, David Acer of Stewart, died of AIDS this past September.
I thought about everything else, and nothing else made sense. The only person that I've been exposed to that had AIDS was the dentist. And I was not in any type of high-risk category.
In between treatment for her disease, Kimberly spends her days with her family and 4 peers, the family birds, even playing piano, trying to relax.
It's not easy, you know, it's something that, it's not like a bad dream. You can wake up and kind of brush it off. It's always there. You know, I wake up and the first thing I think is, am I going to feel good today?
At this point in time, there is no cure for AIDS, and that is a fact Kimberley Bergalis has to live with on a daily basis. But there is always hope. And today, despite all the cameras and publicity and media attention this case has generated, Kimberley Bergalis is on a mission. And that mission is to make sure no one else suffers like she has.
New guidelines need to be established to protect the patient and the healthcare worker as well. If you have AIDS or HIV infection, I don't think you should be allowed to perform any type of invasive procedures.
And despite her traumatic ordeal, Kimberly has even managed to find a positive point.
I'd like other people that have this disease, for them to realize that when you have a diagnosis of AIDS, it doesn't mean that you're going to die. It just means that you're faced with a challenge, you know, a challenge to live each day.
Kimberly indeed is an extraordinary young woman with a big battle still ahead of her. But there is yet another side to this story from the dentists and the medical community. Tomorrow in part 2 of AIDS Anxiety, we'll talk with dentists about their professional opinions on this extremely controversial case.
A plea to pitch in and help needy children celebrate a Merry Christmas is coming tonight from the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Department. One in favor of rezoning and allowing the center to be built. Carol Phillips, whose district borders the proposed project, cast the only no vote.
The Kimberley Bergalis AIDS case could turn into a precedent-setting case with major policy implications for the practice of medicine. The legal profession has taken the lead in bringing this case to the public attention and national debate. Attorneys in this case say in order to win major policy changes, they will have to break new legal ground and make new law. As we look at part 3 of my Action News Extra, AIDS Anxiety.
I'm doing so well right now because I have that support. But if I didn't have that support, it'd be hard. This is something, it's a disease. You don't want to go through it alone.
And Kimberley Bergalis is not alone. Her case has focused national attention on important health care issues. Backed by prominent attorney Robert Montgomery, she has forged ahead with press conferences, numerous interviews, and magazine articles, all to force change.
If your physician has a contagious disease, hepatitis B, which is terribly contagious, much more so than HIV positive or AIDS, you have a right to know that, just like the right to know other areas of health and competency so far as your physician or your dentist is concerned.
That informed consent issue forms the basis of the Bergalis case. She is suing the estate of the dead dentist, David Acer of Stewart, charging malpractice, and Cigna Insurance Company for negligence. The lawsuit's main target is the preferred provider plans, which force you to use certain listed physicians or dentists.
In this particular case, Cigna Insurance Company, as far as I know, made little, if no effort, to determine the health and the competency of those that they put in the plan. They put the dollar before they did the protection of the public, that being the protection of the patient.
Attorney Montgomery says PPOs should be responsible for their providers and liable when there is a problem. Since the legal system is often a forum for change, this case may force the issue.
We know that the guidelines that have been followed, including use of gloves and barrier methods, have seemed to have been effective up until this point. The Bergalis case now calls some of these into questions, and I think it's a very useful case in that it causes us to re-examine everything we've been doing.
It's sad that corporations, corporate America, doesn't take it upon itself to make these changes without the threat of a lawsuit and punitive damages.
Meanwhile, for Kimberley Bergalis, time is indeed the enemy, as she takes the challenge of living each day to the fullest, not knowing what the future holds.
Even though I may be the only documented case right now, it's me, and it's my life, and it makes a difference.
We made repeated attempts to contact someone in the Cigna offices who could talk specifically about this Bergalis case, but we were unsuccessful. This case has certainly triggered a collective shock for the healthcare industry around the country, and with the death now of Dr. Acer, has left many unanswered questions. And for Kimberley Bergalis, the fight continues to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Still ahead tonight, another high-speed police chase.